Okay, we are live. Let me turn off audio monitoring because that's super distracting. Okay, so hello. My name's Connor, and by trade, I am a motion designer, but by night, I am a dad and a husband, and in my free time, I like to draw. And so this is something I've always wanted to do, and I've never had the guts to do it. So I'm going to do it now. Maybe I shouldn't even, maybe it's TMI, but hey, whatever, you know? So I'm going to be warming up and drawing for some character designs for a graphic novel idea that I have. And so, yeah, I'm going to just start talking as I draw and kind of get used to this whole process, and hopefully that's good. And my wife is probably going to check the audio sound, hopefully. Let's see. Oh, hold on. If you could just put in the chat, if you could put in the chat how the audio sounds. I'm not sure. It looks like I could be peaking a little bit, which I can adjust. Is it too loud? Well, I actually gotta find where the chat is. Okay. One second. Okay, so I'm gonna just start. Go right ahead, get into it, I guess. All right. So the idea is that I have is a character that it's like a jack-o'-lantern, but his name is Lantern Jack, and it's going to be it's a mythology of sorts behind the idea of jack-o'-lanterns. I don't know why, but I just always loved the idea of like the headless horseman kind of idea. And, you know, the guy riding the horse with the pumpkin head from Sleepy Hollow, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. But in this case, since historically jack-o'-lanterns ward off evil spirits and all that good stuff, you know, I was thinking that I would create a character that was, you know, good. And that was like the basis of the legend, the reasoning why jack-o'-lanterns do ward off spirits, as if there was an actual character that, or person or thing that did ward off and fight off, you know, evil and protected people from ill intent. And so, yeah, so the story, not going into it too much just yet, because I'm not 100% sure on it myself yet, but it'll just be a youthful character, a kid who is basically reincarnated as this guy. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna start getting some ideas down, And because I have this idea that he's going to have have a weapon of some kind, but obviously he's going to need a lantern, or to be Lantern Jack. And so I don't know, I have this idea of a suit of armor with the head of a pumpkin, and he is fighting off evil spirits from this little sleepy village way back in time somewhere. And so I am going to just draw for a little bit, and then I'll come back and kind of talk through what I'm doing. Make sure I'm still in frame. I do feel this weird pressure to draw as fast as I see other people draw, or see those the time-lapse videos where they're just zipping through things, and I kind of force myself to slow down a little bit because that's just not realistic. And there's a guy I watch on YouTube I really like a lot. I think he's just started picking up his upload schedule again, because he hadn't posted anything for a while, but it's FZD School, or Cinema School. FZD stands for I don't know what his actual name is, but the first two letters, F and Z, are his initials, and then D is design. It was FZD Design Cinema. Anyway, he does everything long form, with him talking over his process and just about things in general while he draws, and it's really informative. It's fun to watch, and that's kind of and it's also, I feel genuine, of it takes him a while to do things, and he's kind of hopping over back and forth, and he doesn't rush or make it feel like he's doing things super fast. He's just doing them. So yeah, I'm gonna try and emulate that a little bit. You'll have to forgive me. I am not used to talking and drawing just yet. So there's gonna be a lot of So right now I'm drawing his sword, but this is definitely not I'm literally just coming up with it as I go along. The idea for the character is that he has this sword. He's he's brought to life by a wizard, a good wizard, and he's fighting against a not so good wizard or witch or something that is bringing back all these people from the village, but they don't have the right. It's the bodies of the people from the village, but their spirits they don't match. They're just random spirits from the afterlife, and they're just kind of causing chaos. And so the good wizard kind of has been around a long time, and he knows what's up, and so he enlists the help of Jack to kind of put a stop to it. That's a very oversimplified. See, I don't like this at all, so I'm just going to start over. There's got to be a faster way to do this, but that's okay. So he brings Jack in and gives him this enchanted sword that will sever the connection between body and spirit, and then he will go the spirits will then get sucked into the lantern, and then the wizard will put them back to rest where they need to be. So yeah, I'm just gonna. The idea was there would be a little pumpkin symbol. With the vines is the crossguard. So yeah, more than likely you're probably going to, if anybody is watching this, when you're watching this, you're going to be watching it after the fact. So I'll just try and keep it simple. I don't have the chat open actually. Hold on. Boom, boom. I'm sorry, 1 second. There it is. Just so that I can see if and when somebody does come stop by for a minute, so I can say hello. And if you want to have any questions, just leave, or comments, obviously, leave them in the comments. So, all right. So where was I? Oh yeah. So I even just make this arm a little smaller. It is in the background anyways. And then I like the actual sword design for once. Gotta remember to talk loudly. I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to y'all. So yeah, I have been drawing my whole life. As long as I could hold a pencil, I have been drawing and kind of coming up with stories. When I was little, I would play for hours with my Legos and stuff like that, and I would come up with the storylines and characters and that I just have always been enamored with just storytelling and movies and video games and all that kind of stuff. It's been it's just always been something that I've done privately, but something that I've wanted to take and actually do on a professional level. And right now, I'm very blessed to have the job of doing something closely related, but not quite that. It's and I love it. It's motion design. I went to school at Full Sail University and got my degree in computer animation, and then got a job doing motion design for a company where I live, and it's a lot of fun. I've grown a lot, and I've learned a lot from just that whole job, and it's also afforded me the ability to have time to do this. Like, I'm doing this on my lunch hour right now, and so it's everybody at work seems to have some sort of passion project or something that they do outside of work that they love. A lot of, especially on the 3D team that I'm on, they seem to love photography and all that stuff. I do too. I just don't have a lot of experience doing that, and but they get into it on our group calls and stuff like that. I also work from home, so that's nice. That was also another thing that lets me do this on my lunch, so I can just take a break from work and work on this. for a little while. It's a nice reset. The projects that I work on are not very, well, they are very creative actually. Like one right now, I'm doing a project for a company. It's got like not the most straightforward like script for the video that I'm working on, and so I've got to come up with like, I have to figure out a way to visually represent the words that are being put on the screen alongside of them. And so that has been very challenging and nice, because I've been up until this point, I've pretty much been handed off pieces of projects, and so this has been one that I've had pretty much like start to finish. I've been in full control of, and it's been going really well. So, but that's not why y'all are here. Y'all are here for me to talk about drawing, not the job that I've got right now. So I'm just gonna, this is something I still struggle with quite a bit, is this foreshortening of the leg without making it seem squished. Especially when it's stylized like this, I feel like it's actually maybe a little bit harder to, because this leg is just a bendy stick. And so, let's see. Yeah, so this guy needs to go this way. This leg needs to go this way a bit. I do need to keep track of the time. I gotta look at when I started actually, so I can get back to work in a minute. I have no idea if I'm on camera when I'm leaning over like that. Let's see. Sorry guys, 1 second. Let me look at, okay, so 20 minutes. So, okay, so 12:20. So I'll go to 1:20. And then that will, we will call it a day. But for now, so the reason that I drew this line right here is because most often you're going to want your character to feel balanced and secure when they're standing. And just a good way to do that is to draw a line from the head, where the head is, and then put your feet at equidistant on either side of that line. Whoops. And so that will help you get a good feel for what is balanced. Because like earlier, like it's just a second ago, I had it over here, so it kind of gives you this sense that even the way that his hand is positioned, kind of gives a sense that he's like trying to catch himself, like he's falling backwards. And so if I just move this leg over this way, then it does not feel so off balance and insecure. In fact, the wider the stance, then the stronger. Like, for instance, just as an example, you could just go straight. Like, that's why every kung fu, like, or every like really strong battle pose, like combat, any kind of combat pose, in drawings just feels, or like they've got super wide stances. And then in real life, that's why that is you have a lot of potential energy stored up in that strong, like in that wide, can't be moved, and then you have a lot of control over your own movement in that stance. So, nope, that's not what I want. Let's see, I may just, there we go. Of course, now I sent it back. I put the toggled it and I need it back. So I think that's one of the things that kind of, I don't know, it's hard to deal with Procreate. At least in the idea that I'm streaming now and I want y'all to be able to see everything, but everything that I'm doing, but I can't. I don't know if y'all want to look at the heads-up display the whole time, but maybe I'll do, because that lets you see what I'm clicking, but I can't see what I'm clicking if it's gone. So for now, I'll just you'll have to deal with it if it's not something you're interested in. Let's see. So yeah, I'm just warming up right now. I've got some other, I really like this, how this sword came out. I'm gonna copy that because I've got another page. So these are some earlier ideas for Lantern Jack. And before, I had decided that I wanted him to be like a kid. Wasn't really sure where I was going. I was just kind of exploring just the idea of it. And sorry, my chair's squeaky. Oops. And so I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go with these things, or with this stuff, and so these are just like some of my early sketches, and now what have I done? Hold on, boop boop. 1 second. Okay. There we go. All right. So yeah. But yeah, so this is some of the, I wanted to do like not on this layer. Like I wasn't sure where to go with this idea. I just there's the lantern and the sword. Like how much, I think I want like the kind of chunky, like medieval style armor, but not so uniform through all this, or throughout his whole body. I kind of like the, especially since he's going to be more of a child age, that he would be a little bit more stylized, obviously. I mean, he's a cartoon character, or he will be anyways. So yeah, so the characters I'm going to be going through are obviously going to be Jack, and then the main other few characters are going to be him, the wizard, which is like a mentor sort of figure, and then obviously the witch, or bad wizard. I haven't totally decided yet. I think it's going to be a witch though. And then I will need, and then an evil, like an overlord sort of evil spirit kind of thing. And then let's see. Okay, so old wizard. The witch. Jack. Now, I don't have a name for her yet, but Jack is going to have like a friend who, that's how he becomes, it's part of how he becomes Lantern Jack, is that he saves his friend, but loses his life in the process from something. I haven't decided quite yet like how that's gonna go. But then once the witch starts raising stuff from the dead and kind of just causing havoc, then the old wizard goes and chooses Jack, finds Jack's spirit and asks if he will help him stop the craziness. So I think Elena is just a name that I kind of just chose. I don't know, I have no reason for it yet, and so I probably won't stick with it. I like things to have a meaning, and I don't have names for the witch or the wizard yet. And then nor the evil spirit, but I don't know, just I didn't want to put Jack's friend and have to write that over and over again, especially when I'm like working on the script and stuff and the dialogue. That gets kind of, you can kind of get away with the witch or the old wizard in that regards, or the evil spirit, but just saying the girl or the guy and anyway, I don't know, for me, like, names are super important, obviously, and that I don't know, whenever I'm writing something, it helps if I have a name associated already with the character, and maybe the name will grow on me, you know. Like, the thing about names is it's what you do with them. It's not always like the names that you're given. Like, I think that you define your name, you know, and characters define their own names. So regardless of what its actual meaning is. Okay, so let's see. I didn't gather any reference for this, which I was planning on doing, and then I was like, oh, it's time for me to stream, and then I didn't have it, so I'm not going to show that or anything right now, and I'm not going to look for some. I'll just keep doing this the way it is, and, you know, I will refine this whole process. That was the other reason why I wanted to start streaming, is because it kind of forces me to plan ahead, and you know, I didn't do a good job of it today, but you know, in the future, I will have a little bit more together. I think have some, like, for instance, sorry about that, the armor and stuff. I just I would be a lot better off if I had something to look at right now, and I could pull something up, but I just feel like I've taken away from it already. Just do a little bit of it, but I should just look it up real quick. All right. See, I love history stuff, and the stylized stuff that I am going for doesn't necessarily translate to accurate historical suits of armor. But yeah. So that's that. So that'll be in the background, or I'm not going to show it yet, but if that's something that is interesting to people, then I will start incorporating that into part of just as I go along. All right. But yeah, so even just having this open, like, where the waist is concerned, there's this, like, this was crazy, is that armor from, like, historical armor does not look like you could move very much in it, but I mean, I don't know if you've seen the videos and stuff of like recreated, historically accurate armor, and they're doing somersaults and all sorts of stuff in it. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting caught up in the details. I need to figure out this gesture first. Oh, and lanterns, I haven't drawn a lantern, but really, that's not something that I'm just like sitting around thinking about or looking at very often, so that's another something I should look at for reference for. Actually, this has patterns that goes, I think most of the time when I'm drawing like chest armor, I think I echo the rib cage, but the picture I'm looking at, it actually arcs up towards this, towards the sternum, which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, but I appreciate y'all coming along. If this is in the future or if this is in, let's see if it's current. Hold on, lost it. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry, I closed the chat again, so we're gonna open that back up. All right. So yeah, eventually, I'm gonna finish something, but probably not today. I'll keep working on this stuff. I may go back to that the other file, or bring it off screen. I'll bring it in to this one or something like that. Oh yeah, I've got to do. Sorry, I'm looking at jumping around here a little bit, but looking at this list, for Jack, I've got to do Jack and like Lantern Jack. So right now I've been kind of just having fun with his initial form, or his final form, which is the pumpkin. Pumpkin head, but I've got to actually draw the boy version too. Yeah, so I do a lot of like watching other people create things, and I've always loved creating stuff of my own, but I've never really been brave enough, I guess, is honestly the word. I've always wanted it to be perfect, and before I showed anybody anything, and finally, my wife was just like, you should just do it. You're really talented, like you have a lot of good ideas, you should just do it, And I was watching an interview with a concept artist from Weta. It's on the Proco channel. Actually, that's not correct. I think it's somebody who works at Proco, but he has his own channel as well, obviously. Christian Nee. And he is interviewing a concept artist from Weta, and one of the takeaways was basically, don't let your lack of talent get in the way of your ambition. So in my case, I'm gonna just jump straight into the deep end. Not only do I not traditionally get past the sketching phase of things, or historically I should say, but I've never come close to even attempting a graphic novel, and that was just something it is something that I've always wanted, like something I would do with my cousins. Like we would come up with ideas, and we would draw characters and stuff together growing up. but it's never been something that I've actually like come close to realizing or actualizing, I should say. Oh my gosh. So yeah. This is good practice. Just kind of processing out loud and kind of what I'm thinking, and it helps me realize like, oh, do I actually like this idea or do I not like this idea? You know, and once people are here and asking questions, like that'll be fun too. That was the other thing, is like, I know I want to inspire other people, not because of how good I am or anything, but because I mean, look, but just that, you know, you don't have to be, just the idea that you don't have to be this crazy, like accomplished person to start something. Like, you know, there's a lot of, see, why am I doing that? You know, the difference between you and me and somebody working for doing concept art or making their own graphic novels and stuff is that they are just doing it, you know, and not everybody, they didn't just know how to do that. They had to go out and start doing it and learning and figuring things out and, you know, messing things up. And so, yeah, this looks more like a girl now, doesn't it? I don't know when that happened, but that's all right. I guess it is this. Okay, so looking at this armor, there's like this piece at the bottom of the torso that kind of fans out like this. But that's definitely making it look, I think it should be more kind of like this, but it's like, and then you have the belt. But I've made it into like a tunic sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll just, you know, focus on drawing for a little bit. If I think of something that is like super or particularly pertinent, then I will just start back up again. Actually, I will say it's funny how quickly it feels weird to not be talking while I'm drawing now. Because even as I was like, this looked like maybe he could be holding a staff or something. I don't know, have the lantern on the staff. I guess I gotta figure something out. Alright. But initially I was like, oh, maybe he could just and maybe I will still go with this, but maybe he could just fight with the lantern on like a staff, like a staff or something, kind of like a morning star sort of deal. But I was kind of afraid it would be more, or just look, or feel like Jax from League of Legends, since that's his weapon as well. Not that I don't think anybody would mistake that. But in my head, I was like, that's already a thing. I can't wait to look back at this and see like just the top of my head for an hour. I have heard it's the best. One of my better features. So yeah. Bum-ba-dum. Maybe I'll just round that out. you do find this video somewhere in the future, just I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Just I don't know how long it takes because I don't have any real social media presence or anything, and I don't have a YouTube channel. I'll probably just upload, or obviously I'll leave these on the channel to watch in the future for people. Gosh, that would be so funny for people to go back and watch this. I'll probably have to go back and watch this myself. It'll just be horrible, but that's okay. I'm trying to embrace my inner Bob Ross and just let things happen and be little happy accidents. So let's clear this out. Oops. Yeah. So keep the line of action more or less. We'll just straighten out that lower torso. That's what will bring back his more masculine feeling. I'm actually gonna shorten the torso as well. Lengthen the legs out a little bit. Yeah, since he's putting, I guess he's actually not putting weight, so something I'm working on. So if you are, when the human body is placing weight on something, on a leg or on a arm or anything of that sort, then you are actually, that joint will appear to be higher than the other one. So I'm actually gonna flip this whole section, get it going the other way. I'll tilt it a little bit. I'll have to flip this inside inner part because he's flip this inner part because he's still facing this way, but he'll be so he's putting weight on this shoulder here. Okay, you do get to see that. Okay, so he's putting weight on that shoulder there. And then to maintain the balance, he will also... Goodness gracious, I just messed this pose up, didn't I? You know what? Screw it. We're going to go back, keep going back. Yeah, forget what I said. But, I mean, that's not... Don't forget what I said, but that is true. But, like, right now, so I can... There, he's putting his weight on this leg. And this staff, so he can relax. That's how this leg can be put out and have no weight on it. All right, let's find this sword. Let's just lighten this line up a little bit. Yeah, and so I'm going to, because I'm coming up on 120 or so, I'm gonna have to call it a day for this particular stream, but I'm gonna be trying to do this. Oof, that is wonky. I'm gonna try and keep this fairly consistent. Just by nature of streaming, obviously you can't build anything up if you're not sticking with it. So yeah, but I'm gonna think Mondays, Wednesdays, and oh my gosh, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays will be when I go live and all that stuff. Most often, I think that's just gonna. At noonish will be my set. I don't know if that's. We'll play around with it. It's not set in stone. But yeah. My producer is letting me know that I am coming up on 1:15, and I think that'll be about good enough for today. But yeah, so thank y'all for watching, and I look forward to hold on, I'll do it. I'll do it in a minute. Not quite ready yet. All right. So I should have waited to do that first. Cool. So yeah, obviously, if you're watching this in the future, please let me know how the audio and everything goes. I'm new to this, so I'm trying to get everything situated as I go. I did mess with it a little bit this morning before work and all that, but honestly, there's no real way to be sure of something until you've done it. So yeah, but that's me. Oh yeah, my name is Connor. I don't think I said that at the beginning. I think I just jumped straight into what I do, or like why I'm bothering y'all. But yeah, my name's Connor, and I will be doing this going forward. Monday, so I'll try doing 3 days in a row. We'll see how that works out, but yeah, we'll do Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from around lunchtime in Central Time. So good old Central. But yeah, I kind of like that. I like where this is headed. I think you can make his head a little smaller, actually. And I want it to feel a little bit more, I don't know, this still looks fairly, like, not mature, but like, old, not mature as in, anyway, he looks too old. He doesn't look like a kid. So yeah, well, I think I'm gonna call it right there. We'll pick this back up tomorrow, and maybe I'll work on it tonight a little bit. And if I do, I'll let y'all know what I did, and I'll walk you through what choices I made and all that stuff. But yeah, if not, we'll just pick up tomorrow. And so yeah, well, thank y'all, and I will see you tomorrow.